On November 6, 2025, the Dallas Cowboys and the broader football family were shattered by the sudden passing of Marshawn Kneeland, the explosive defensive end whose raw power and relentless heart had already made him a rising force in just his second season, gone at the heartbreakingly young age of 24. The team broke the news in a raw, unflinching statement that captured the void. It is with extreme sadness that the Dallas Cowboys share that Marshawn Kneeland tragically passed away this morning. Marshawn was a beloved teammate and member of our organization. Our thoughts and prayers regarding Marshawn are with his girlfriend Catalina and his family. No cause of death has been disclosed yet, leaving a heavy fog of speculation and sorrow in its wake. Local authorities in Frisco, Texas, are involved, but the focus remains on honoring a life cut far too short, with the NFL offering full counseling support to a shaken Cowboys squad. Just 3 days earlier, on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals, Marshawn had scooped up a blocked punt for his first career touchdown, a gritty, game-changing score that had the valley erupting and his teammates piling on in joy. A moment that now feels like a cruel cosmic tease. You can almost see him there in the end zone, that infectious grin flashing under the lights, oblivious to the fragility of it all. It's a loss that defies the game's script, too swift, too senseless for a kid who embodied its best. The grind, the grit, the unbreakable will to win. But in the hush after the hit, there's a call to rally around his light, to remember the Wyoming warrior who turned small-town scraps into big-league dreams, because Marshawn's story wasn't a fumble. It was a full-throttle charge, fierce and fleeting, urging us all to tackle our own tomorrows harder. To hike back to the huddle start, picture the frost-kissed fields of Wyoming, Michigan, a blue-color speck on the map where the Grand River runs wide and winters bite deep, where Marshawn Kneeland burst into the world on July 8, 2001, the proud son of a family forged in the fire of everyday endurance. His mother, Wendy Kneeland, was his North Star, the one who shuttled him to those endless practices and whispered dreams of the pros when doubts crept in like fog off the water. She passed away when he was just 15, a blow that could have bench-warmed a lesser soul. But Marshawn channeled it into fuel, later sharing in interviews with a quiet fire, "She got me into football. I always told her I was going to the NFL, and I made it for her." Dad stayed in the shadows of the story, a steady presence in the Wyoming community where Marshawn grew up honing his edge on frozen turf. But the family's ethos was clear: no frills, all fight, the kind of roots that turned a 3-star recruit into a draft darling. High school at Godwin Heights was his proving ground. A two-way terror at tight end and defensive end, racking up 1,200 receiving yards and 12 scores on offense, while terrorizing quarterbacks with 15 sacks on D. His track speed, 11.2 in the 100m, adding blur to the boom. Western Michigan came calling in 2019, a mid-major gem where he redshirted as a freshman before exploding, for 0.5 sacks as a sophomore in 2020, All-MAC honors in 2022 with 7.5 TFLs, and a breakout senior year in 2023 with 7.5 sacks and 11.5 TFLs, nearly flipping to Colorado mid-career, but staying loyal to the Broncos, his 6 feet 3 inches, 267-pound frame of force that blended finesse with fury. The 2024 NFL Draft was his draft day destiny. Second-round steal at number 56 to the Cowboys, a $8.3 million rookie pact that had scouts salivating over his motor, relentless, explosive, a blue-collar beast. As one put it, he hit the ground running, 3 tackles and a sack in his debut versus Cleveland, then that MNF pick-six turn score on November 3rd. His 7 games in 2025 already netting 12 tackles, 4 QB hits, and a sack. His role swelling under Mike Zimmer's scheme. From Wyoming winters to Arlington's roar, Marshawn wasn't chasing headlines. He was hunting history, a mama's boy turned mauler whose every snap screamed promise. Through the blitzes and breakout games, though, it was family that formed his fortress, the unyielding front four holding the line against the league's loneliness, even in a life lived fast and furious under the spotlight's glare. He kept his circle tight, no sprawling saga in the press, just the core that clipped him close. Girlfriend Catalina, a steady spark whose name the Cowboys invoked in their grief, the one who'd be ringside for his draft call. Her quiet strength, the soft landing after hard hits. Mom Wendy's shadow loomed largest, her passing a pivot that poured extra purpose into his play. She was my why, he'd say in a 2024 profile. Her memory, the motivation behind those extra reps in the off-season heat. Dad and any siblings stayed off the stat sheet, part of that Wyoming weave where family meant showing up for the small stuff, high school games, holiday huddles, the kind of bonds that buffered the big league blows. No kids in the playbook yet, no marital milestones mapped out, but Catalina was his constant. The pair spotted at Cowboys tailgates or low-key dinners in Frisco, her support the sideline cheer that kept him centered amid the chaos. Extended kin? The Broncos' brotherhood became chosen family, Western Michigan alums like his draft classmate Turin Tracy swapping stories over FaceTime, while the Cowboys' locker room, guys like DeMarcus Lawrence calling him Little Bro, filled the gaps with tough love and team texts after TDs. Rejection stung, the near miss at Colorado, the draft wait till pick 56, but family was the fallback, Wendy's words echoing in every end-zone spike. Play for the dream, not the doubters. It wasn't a dynasty of drama. It was devoted depth, the kind where a girlfriend's hug after a sack feels like the real Super Bowl win, proving the strongest tackles are the ones that hold you up. That depth defined his off-field playbook too, a lifestyle of blue-collar blaze and balanced basics that screamed rookie realness, grounded yet geared up, where the grind of gym sessions outshone the glow of gridiron glory. Marshawn made his rookie roost in Frisco, Texas, a modest apartment near the Star, Dallas's gleaming HQ, turned training camp. Walls splashed with WMU posters and family frames, a weight rack in the living room groaning under his daily lifts. The air thick with protein shakes and the faint scent of post-practice turf. No Lembos or luxury pads yet. He was the kid rolling in a sensible SUV, radio blasting Motown or Michigan hip-hop to psych the drive to practice. His $1.1 million 2025 base salary, part of a $8.3 million four-year rookie deal with $3.2 million guaranteed, socked away smart, net worth around $3 to $4 million at the end, factoring in that $2.5 million 2024 haul. Funneled into family funds, a Wyoming cabin upgrade for Dad, and quiet nods to youth football camps back home. Mornings hit hard, 5 a.m. alarms for film study over oatmeal and eggs, then position drills with Zimmer's crew, his 4.8 40-yard dash speed fueling those explosive bursts that had scouts drooling. Afternoons? Recovery rituals. Ice baths to ease the aches, physio tweaks for that frame he'd bulked from 240 to 267 in college, or casual hoops with teammates like Micah Parsons, turning locker room laughs into lifelong links. Evenings unwound simple. FaceTime with Catalina to unpack the day's dogs, a light supper of grilled chicken and greens, pescatarian lean for the lean, then crashing early to a true crime pod or WMU highlights, his sleep sacred in a league that steals it. Health was the playbook's priority. Yoga for flexibility after those 300-pound squats, annual checkups to monitor the hits, no vices beyond the occasional post-win beer with the boys. Travel was team tempo, flights to Philly or LA for matchups, always with a book on leadership. He devoured Jocko Willink, his ex-posts at Marshawn Kneeland, a light lift of tackles and tails. Philanthropy flickered in his fire, coaching Wyoming kids in free clinics, echoing Wendy's legacy of giving back. Politically? Unspoken, but his play screamed grit over glamour. It was a life of lean launches, the roar of the Star yielding to the hush of home calls, where fortune favored the fight over the flash, and every sack affirmed the dream's daily grind. And scattered like confetti through his clips are those electric end zones, the sparks that made Marshawn more than metrics, the kid whose quiet roar could rally a room, turning practice piles into profound purpose. Take his 2023 WMU Swan Song, 7. 5 sacks and a near transfer to CU, but he stayed, telling reporters with that Wyoming drawl, "Mom said stick where the roots run deep. Broncos built me. so I broke M for her, a senior year that sealed his draft stock like a strip sack special. Or that MNF magic on November 3rd, scooping the blocked punt for 6. He spiked it with a shimmy that had the sidelines swarming, Catalina beaming from the stands as he jogged to her, whispering, "One for us, babe." Family yarns tugged toughest, dedicating his first sack in 2024 to Wendy, pointing skyward after sacking Burrow, the tears mixing with turf as he later shared with Dad over a call. She saw it. Pop felt her in the rush. He'd quip about the draft weight. 56th? Thought I'd go bingo, nah, Cowboys? That's the jackpot. Regrets? The near miss at Colorado dodged a bullet, stayed true, but he spun it into steel, his rookie role swelling to 3 starts by 2025. Even at 24, fresh from that TFL in Week 8, he'd text teammates, "One more rep for the fam." Tributes today, from Parsons' "My Lil Bro Forever" to WMU's "Bronco for Life," pour like a perfect pick, his $3 to $4 million a footnote to the fire he fueled, the family he fortified, the way his hustle still haunts the hash marks. As we hang up Marshawn Kneeland's helmet from Wyoming winters to that final fateful flash, I hope his charge stirs something fierce in you. A tackle in the park with the kids, a tighter huddle with your own line, or just cranking up some Motown to honor the heart he hauled. He hit hard with heart, leaving fields and families forever fiercer. If his fire flickered in you, give this a like to echo the end zone, and subscribe for more spotlights on the souls who score too soon. What's your Marshawn memory? Thanks for the snap, keep charging, and take care.